Assalamu alaikum and good morning. So let's talk a little bit about areas to ride in, inshallah. Generally speaking, the smaller the area, the more secure you and your horse are going to feel. Part of that is because the horse just cannot build up a lot of speed and momentum in a small area. So, for very beginners, smaller is actually going to be better. And heading out on the open trails with no fences is probably the most advanced move that a beginner will make. And that's after you have mastered all the speeds and the control in an enclosed area. So, this is what they call a round pen, which is just what it sounds like. It's a round pen. This is 36 feet across, and 30 feet is considered the minimum size. 60 feet is more standard. 36 is what I could fit in this space. So, alhamdulillah, a 36-foot pen it is. So, this pen is big enough for walking, and you probably could do a little bit of a trot or a jog, but you most likely wouldn't go any faster than that unless you were using a little tiny pony, which is a very short horse. But for just walking, this is a great and secure way to begin. The next size up is what I'm building, and you can see this is the end of it here, and it goes all the way down to those wooden posts there. So this is big enough to do a walk, a jog, or a trot, and a canter or a lope, but you would not necessarily do a full out high speed gallop in here. You could do a little bit of jumping, maybe one jump set up in the very center, inshallah, but that's about it. So this is a little less containment. There's a little more speed the horse could have in here. So it's a little less secure, a little less confidence boosting than the round pen. This would be the next step up. And as far as the size of these, you can go online and Google, inshallah, and you're going to find all kinds of dimensions, and it's going to ask you what you want to use it for. If you're learning to jump, if you're learning dressage, if you're learning to barrel race, I mean, there's so many different disciplines, and we talk about the disciplines in another post. But the discipline that you're learning is part of what is going to dictate the size of pen you need. The other thing I want to comment on before I end this video is the footing or the ground, the surface that you're riding on. This is just a grassy field. Now, it looks very uneven, but that's actually the clumps and tufts of grass. It's fairly level in there. There's a slight slope, a couple little drop-offs, but nothing big. And I've checked it for any holes that a horse could put a foot in and trip and fall. The upside, the bonus of having uneven natural ground like this is both you and your horse have to be able to adapt and shift body position. So it's a really good way to learn more about balance and what they call self-carriage, which is basically the horse being able to keep his or her balance while you are on its back. The downside is all of that if you're really focused on learning a particular riding technique and you want to put all your focus on what you are doing or what the horse is doing, then the slightly uneven ground like this will be a distraction. So there's pros and cons. I like the fact that they have to do a bit of adapting and that my body has to adapt as well. As the ground shifts, we have to shift too. And this is much less expensive. Subhanallah, basically, you just fence in a flat, grassy area. Putting in an actual riding arena with correct manufactured footing is a very expensive proposition. So this is a great way to get started. And again, you can adjust this size up and down. If you made something like this and you're just a beginner, my suggestion would be just section off a corner of it, maybe 40 feet by 40 feet or 60 by 60, and start in there, build your confidence, build your skills, and then make the pen bigger and then make it bigger. Don't just start out in a very large area where the horse could build up a lot of speed, um, and maybe move faster than you have the skills to deal with. So, inshallah, that's helpful. And I will be back, inshallah, with more posts as this gets finished and as I'm able to start filming the riding process.